Buying a guest house in the Brecon Beacons had been a long-held ambition of mine. Something to daydream about while I toiled at my dead-end job in marketing, or when I was on maternity leave, surrounded by nappies and wet wipes. The Brecons held fond memories for me, of picnics in the foothills, of family days out, my brother Nathan and I bickering in the car, our dad barking at us good-naturedly, of homemade egg sandwiches and milky tea from a flask, of frisbees, of those hills and mountains that seemed to go on forever. When I was a kid, they always reminded me of the drawings in the Mr. Men books. They were so perfect. They seemed worlds away from where we lived in Cardiff. Moving to Wales and running a guest house was something we imagined we'd do in the future, when both girls were at university, when we were in our late 40s or early 50s and had had enough of our cramped terraced house and frantic city living. Then suddenly, the idea of fresh air and peace became more appealing, more urgent. A gentler pace of life, a quiet spot for Adrian to write, which he's always wanted to do, and a safe haven for the girls, away from all the distractions and temptations of London. In the distance, I can see the glint of sunshine beneath the clouds, beckoning us. I reach over and squeeze Adrian's hand. He returns the gesture, and I flick a glance in his direction. He looks happy and relaxed. He's grown a beard and his hair is longer, now touching the collar of his blue polo shirt. There is nothing left of his city persona. He shed the smart suits and the clean-shaven look as soon as he walked out of his job. But there are other changes too. The old Adrian would be trying to coax excitement out of Amelia right now. He'd be fiddling with the radio and singing along to Absolute 90s or playing I Spy with Evie, rolling his eyes when she pretended to spot a unicorn or a pixie. Instead, he's staring at the road ahead, the radio switched off. He's calm and content in his own way. Just different. But at least he's here. I want him to reassure me that we've made the right decision in leaving, that Amelia won't hate me forever, that it will all turn out for the best. Anxiety curdles in the pit of my stomach. In all my fantasies of running a business in the place I love the most, I never envisaged I'd have to do it with my mother. Kirsty? I'm jolted out of my thoughts by Adrian's voice. When is Carol expected to turn up? It's as though he's read my mind. We used to joke about that. Before. How we always seemed to know what the other was thinking. Next month, I think. I change gear as we head into the national park, the SUV juddering over the cattle grid. I notice Evie sit up straighter, and I know she's hoping to see wild ponies clustered at the side of the road as we did the last time we visited. Next month, he says incredulously. She said something about waiting until the house is more habitable. So not until the renovations are done, then? He's laughing as he says it to take the sting out of his words. She did up plenty of houses with my dad before he died. Yeah, over 20 years ago. Her DIY is a lot better than mine. I'm nettled that he's so easily putting her down. I'm allowed to say what I want about her, but he isn't. Despite her faults, my mother is one of the most capable, practical people I know. Great, then what's she waiting for? He laughs. Tell her to get here pronto. We'll need all the help we can get. Hasn't she done enough? I want to ask, but I don't. I'm trying not to feel resentful that we were forced to eat into our savings after Adrian left his job. It wasn't his fault, and it was kind of Mum to agree to come in with us. Her money means we could buy the house and carry out the restoration. Going into business with her wouldn't have been my first choice, but now we have. We must make it work. We first saw the old rectory 6 months ago. We'd been on a family holiday in Brecon, driving through those mountains I had so admired as a child. Adrian was shriveled up in the passenger seat, still shell-shocked from all that had happened, as if he were a war veteran or disaster survivor. We were still tentative with each other, like lovers who had been apart for many years and were getting to know each other again. The mist was like dry ice nudging the hills and draping itself over the mountains in the distance. The land was spread out in front of us in varying shades of green, our road zigzagging through it. There wasn't another soul for miles. It was when we were on the edge of a little village called Howell Philly that we saw it. A double-fronted Victorian...